A very pleasant, well, very pleasant good afternoon as we are back with some technical difficulties to open things up. Um, but welcome back to the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show. Been a couple of weeks since I've been on the program and a week since the dear Goon has been on the show. But here we both are back at our home away from home, Quaker Steak Lube in State College. Great place to stop off during the arts festivals that are hitting the area later this week and weekend. If you're looking for a little getaway, some beverages, great service, and great food, while you watch some of the great sports action, World Cup continuing, albeit not for the United States, and Wimbledon, and Major League Baseball, and all of the summer sports activities. You can follow along on the many TVs here at Quaker Steak and Lube while you enjoy that delicious food and great beverages. Dear Goon, how have you been? It has been a while.
It has been a while. It's been a whole 3 weeks for us, Jeffrey. I just had a fantastic idea.
Yeah, I love fantastic
ideas.
ideas.
Home run derby next Tuesday night and competing in Buffet.
Pretty good.
So you're watching Kyle Schwarber in his home stadium hit 484 home runs.
There you go. And ruin his swing for the second half of the season. All right,
I'm
down with that. I'm all right with that.
I have said that for decades.
But the Phillies fade. I'm good with that. I like your thinking here, Goon.
No, man. Well, speaking of that, did you hear your boy got hurt?
Who's my boy?
Somebody tore his ligaments in his finger. Your number one overall, not skiing player, Griffin.
Connor Griffin. Oh, amazing catch he had in
he's out a month.
Sunday's game. Just
Is that when he got hurt?
Spectacular stuff. I don't think so. Argentina having the comeback that the United States could only dream of having yesterday in today's game with Egypt. Argentina leading in the waning moments here, now 3-2 over Egypt after trailing 2-0 late in the second half. It has been a truly remarkable eruption here.
Speaking of
by
eruption,
Argentina.
These Egyptian coaching staff are going absolutely ballistic with the referees right now.
They don't seem altogether happy.
But this is the same Argentinian team, or the Egyptian team, excuse me.
They need...
Did you see the problem they had last week?
Donald Trump to make a phone call.
Yeah, well, Donald...
I mean, that's all they did.
Egypt was going through TSA in Dallas, Texas, and that same freaking coach from Egypt was fighting a cop. I think they just got anger issues in Egypt.
He's a fighter, not a lover.
Right?
Wait, what?
Goodness. Old Ramsey's over here with the bald head and the big eyebrows, and yeah, that's they're not happy. They were winning 2-0. They had a goal disallowed. They would have been running away with it. And then
they do seem a little displeased.
Yeah, they can't. I don't know if it. See, I don't know enough about the sport to figure out what the hell happened and what they're so mad about, but. They did blow a 2-goal lead late in the game. For Argentina, this is one of those things that's going to say, okay, well, now we're unbeaten. I don't know. Did you get into it, Jeff?
Oh, yeah.
We haven't really talked. I mean, it was going on when we were here. I have absolutely loved. Like, I don't know if you were even here when the couple started. We have done a show then. Just the Europeans and the Asians and the Africans and the Middle East, all the countries of the world coming here for the World Cup. How much fun they've had in the United States. It's been so spectacular and fun to watch. Everything about it has been really, really cool.
Well, not
USA,
everything.
The USA doing well.
Everything until last night, I might have gone with you on.
I don't know. Talk to me here. Do we expect our guys to go out there and be one of the dominant teams in the game? These aren't our best players.
Not dominant, competitive. Yeah, I expected them to be competitive, and they were not.
No, they came out flat. They came out really bad last night, and there was a lot of distractions, and Belgium didn't let them affect them, where people thought that they would have affected Belgium, but it seems that they affected the United States more.
Yeah, just an extremely disappointing result, and it felt like a disappointing effort in the round of 16 last night. Just a game where, again, expectations had built up. The soccer community had said, boy, the United States has really stepped up its talent level, and it's not unreasonable to think they can make a run here to the quarterfinals. And again, I don't think losing to Belgium in and of itself is horrendous. I think the manner in which that game unfolded, with all of the expectations leading into it and the good news with the red card overturned and all of that, and then to go out there and lay an egg to the degree that they did was bitterly disappointing. And I think it is one of those things. It's being a U.S. soccer fan is a lot like being a Pirates baseball fan, because you get some good early results and it's like, oh, wait, maybe this could really be a legitimately competitive team. And then you realize as you get later into the season, oh no, we're still who we thought we were, and who everybody else thought we were. And I think that's the thing. You keep getting told, nope, the U.S. is closing the gap. Again, it wasn't that you expected the U.S. to go out and win this thing, but to be as uncompetitive as they were, and even though they were a game away from the quarterfinals, it feels like you were. We talk about it all the time in wrestling. Like it's one thing to be close, to feel like you're close. It's another to break through and actually, hey, you know what? We've arrived. The U.S. A lot of people thought. We were told by a lot of people, this is the year that the U.S. can show it is there, meaning competitive. Again, not there in terms of, hey, we're going to go win multiple World Cups in a row here, but yeah, they're going to be competitive. There are, there's no team that the U.S. can't hang with on the field. And the thing is, we'll see how it finishes up. Belgium does not feel like it is Spain or even England or Argentina. Again, we'll see how it finishes up, but it feels like the U.S. is still kind of in that third tier of soccer, if you will, certainly not at the top tier. And again, the hope was, hey, maybe the U.S. is in the second tier, really knocking on the door, and it just isn't. Again, everything going in its favor going into that game last night.
It's not one of the main four sports in the United States, in my opinion. Honest to God, let's talk about the.
Well, wrestling isn't one of the main four sports in the United States. So they still go out and very competitive. Swimming isn't one of the top four sports. Track and field isn't one of the top
they
four
weren't
sports.
winning world titles.
You go down. Yeah, you go down a long list of sports that the U.S. is at least competitive in. How much time?
I don't know.
We're going on what, 70 years, 80 years? It feels like that should be enough time to build. If you're trying to build something, it feels like enough time to go ahead and build it.
You don't think it's a niche sport? Like, I think our best athletes play football, basketball, baseball. I don't think that every kid goes. It's like I've talked about hockey for decades. Like, if Americans put kids on ice when they were 1 year old, how much better would the United States if every kid in the United States was out playing on ice? I don't know.
The issue is there's a wide range of sports, and it may be that overall the better athletes are choosing, I don't know. What are you thinking? Football and basketball is the two primary sports, but again, go through the long list of sports that exist. That the United States, again, we're a pretty big country. We have a lot of resources. There are very few sports that the U.S. isn't competitive in, that it cares about. And, again, I think you look at the numbers and the crowds, it's hard to argue that there's not caring about the World Cup anyway, if not soccer in general, in the U.S. And yet, consistently, it is the results are just extremely disappointing.
Every other country, that are in the World Cup, that's their number one sport. These kids are playing at a young age. They're taking them and putting them in camps and on teams and this and that we didn't really start. I mean, I'm not trying to defend the U.S. soccer program here at all.
Sounds like you're trying
that's
to
not my thing.
it.
But, think about this, man. I remember, because I've talked to you about this before, 1984. I remember having a sticker on my boombox that I supported the U.S. Olympic team because I sent a couple dollars in. I mean, this is our sports programs have only been doing this. Europeans and the South Americans, I mean, they see a kid 7 years old, they're going to put him in an academy. We're not doing that. I think we might be getting to that. We might be getting to that point with some of the academies that are out there, but they're not state run. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. How does England run their football? Their football program.
Well, we don't have state-run football academies or basketball academies or baseball.
Well, that's where I think that our size and our athleticism come into play.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is at some point, you gotta start producing.
Listen, I get it. I'm right on board with you, but we're finally competitive in hockey again. I think because we've actually made a sort of a change in the way how many kids are playing nowadays. I don't know. I mean, they've been trying. I mean, how many times have they been trying to get all these different leagues going in the United States with soccer? It's just not going to kick. It's just not going to work. I mean, now I'm going to go on the bashing of the soccer, and that is, I think that Americans hate the fact that the guys look at they're getting shot by guns out there when they get hit. It's just are they trying to sell it? And my future sister-in-law was a Division II soccer player. She said that's men's and women's soccer is different. Women's soccer does not play like that. They don't play like the whole I'm this guy really hurt me. I need a red card on him. Women's soccer doesn't do that. Or it's men's soccer. And that's what completely turns me off from the game. And what's going on? I mean, people don't want to do it. Are there not leagues? I mean, I had Springfield Biddy basketball and Springfield midget soccer when I was growing up. I played for a year or two. Did you play soccer when you were a kid? Does Reggie play soccer? Is it available out there? I think Erica does a great job with the women's side.
Oh, for sure.
But we got to get guys, our superior athletes to go out and play. I mean, I picked some guys out from the different sports that would be. Could you imagine these guys? Could you imagine LeBron James out there? We're seeing what the guy from Norway is doing. He's 6'5", 220 pounds. I mean, you imagine a 6'9", 280-pound man who can run just as fast as the little guys. I mean, that's pretty scary to think about. Christian McCaffrey, if LeBron James, Christian McCaffrey. Our superior athletes, would they be playing soccer from age one? Would we be different? I'd have to say yes. But how do we get more kids to play soccer?
I don't know. I feel like there are very few athletes that in the United States that haven't played soccer at the youth level. That was the one thing that everybody played starting out. It was like the only organized sport until you got to around Center County at least back in the 80s until you got to maybe like 5th grade. You'd start up or 4th grade with some wrestling and basketball and some of those things. But baseball and soccer were the two sports that 4 or 5 year olds were playing. So
did State High have their middle schools? Do they have physical teams, or was it all still clubs?
No,
we didn't have teams.
Oh yeah,
when we were young, we had
very good.
Like I said, Springfield Midget Soccer League, which on Saturdays in the fall, but then, in football, when everybody became old, everybody started playing football.
Yeah.
Stopped playing soccer.
Yeah, it's I don't know. A lot of build-up, a lot of disappointment in the United States.
Yeah,
Now, that
well, let me
being
go back
said,
to that.
not disappointment in the world.
The effort that I think that came out of last night's game was a little disappointing. We're watching this Argentina game. They're down 2-0 to Egypt here late in the game, and they didn't panic. They just went out there and worked. He scored 3 goals and won the game. That's it. Go. Let's go. Next round.
I will say, body language and attitude can go a long way. We talk about it. My kiddo's still doing Little League baseball, and we talk all the time. And actually, his team, he wasn't. He had to divvy up his time last night, but his team rallied, excuse me, from a 5-run deficit to win by a run last night. And again, it's Little League. I understand it. I'm not equating it to the World Cup. But I will say you're watching the U.S. coach on the sidelines after that third goal, which, by the way, talk about just the realization, if you're a U.S. fan, that, those Argentina and Spain and those, they don't do that. That was bad. Again, I'm certainly not a soccer expert by any stretch, but yeah, I'm like, that was pretty dumb, pretty bad.
Yep. You're talking about body language,
and you just don't see that. And from that point on, and yes, a 2-goal deficit pretty much feels like, but there was still 20 minutes and plus extra time at that point. If you get a goal in that next 10, 15 minutes, for that matter, next 20 minutes, hey, you're right there. Now you're a goal away, and all of a sudden, the crowd's going crazy. The team is energized and all of that. But if you were watching it just felt like the coach was defeated, and you're looking at the players on the field, and it's like, there wasn't that, all right, here we go, let's do something magical, is at least, again, maybe I'm reading too much into it. That's what it looked like on TV, is once that they went up 3-1, Belgium went up 3-1, it looked like the U.S. kind of waved the white flag, and it's like, that's not the way you need to approach it. And we just saw Argentina, and again, do I think there's a talent gap and maybe a strategy gap between Argentina and the U.S. for sure, but also, there's a confidence there, a swagger, if you will, from Argentina. And they're like, oh, yeah, down 2-0, bummer. Let's go get this. And they went and got it. Part of that is attitude. Part of that is attitude.
I had a conversation with friends last night. When Pulisic came out of the game, granted, he was hurt. We all knew he was hurt, and he went out there, gave the effort, and just wasn't happening for him. But then they go to the bench and, instantly put your head down and weep and stuff like that when there's still 15, 16 minutes to go in the game.
Yeah.
I was like, he's hurt, this and that. And my one buddy was like, I don't care if he's hurt or not. You go out there and shoot your freaking
rally.
Team on.
Yeah.
Get up there and start clapping for your guys. Don't sit there
couldn't agree.
All boo-hooing and stuff. And I got you on that. I mean, I'm watching again. I'm watching this Egypt-Argentina game, and then when it went 2-0, and I was like, it was 11, 12 minutes to go, and I was like, well, it's like one of those sports where it's like you can predict with 10 or 15 minutes to go in the game what the final score is going to be, but it sure as hell didn't happen the way I suspected it to happen. They came back and scored 3 freaking goals.
Yeah,
and they're throwing a little messy around.
Truly remarkable stuff. And again, the World Cup overall has been wildly successful, very intriguing, and it's hard to say the overall event has been anything but a success here in North America. The crowds have been great. Fans have been absolutely phenomenal, both U.S. fans and all of the fans from all of the visiting countries. It's been a pretty neat spectacle to take in here, and
fun to watch.
Yeah, we're getting to the elite stage of the World Cup, and quarterfinals in will be
3 more games.
Very fun, very
So
intense
right?
opportunities.
You got a game tonight and then 2 tomorrow, and that's it. Or today is the last. I think today. No, Colombia and Switzerland. I don't know. Switzerland plays today. How was the weekend, Ed? How was the vacation? Let's talk the real world, baby. Come on.
All was good. Got to do. Have you ever gone ziplining?
No.
I just first time I ever had the opportunity to.
You need 2 freaking sequoias or redwoods to hold me up.
Our kiddo has wanted to do it. It just hasn't been big enough. And finally, this year, he, by a couple of pounds, was big enough to be able to do it. So we did have the opportunity to do that, and got to do at least what they herald was the longest zip line on the East Coast, down in Ocean Isle, North Carolina. So, yeah, that was probably, at least for me, the highlight. A lot of ocean time, beach time, went to a couple of water parks, did mini golf, all of those fun things, but very good vacation. And then we come back and it's 100 degrees plus,
488 degrees,
and you're in an oven, and welcome. And we had baseball games and practices canceled because of the heat, and didn't think Joe Bastardi had a great article, and I'll admit I am one of the weaklings here, but there's been a lot of talk about the air conditioning in the U.S. from the World Cup fans. It's like, oh, this is awesome. One of the things about it, though, is there are a lot of people that are like, it's way too hot. And then, you throw in the heat index. Like when we were kids, we didn't have, like, it would have still felt the same, but it wasn't told to us, hey, it feels like 110 degrees. You just knew, hey, it's 96 degrees. Man, it's really hot out. But you didn't have the air conditioning, and so you were acclimated. It's like, well, yeah, summertime is when it's hot, and wintertime is when it is cold. Well, with heating and cooling inside, when you go out now, the impact of the heat or the cold in winter or summer hits you differently. It feels even worse to either extent. And again, we're just not acclimated the way we once were, and not necessarily saying that's bad or good, but it feels like there's a greater differential than there probably actually is. And I think it helps lead to some of the hype around some of the things. Oh, this is the worst weather we've ever had. Well, no, you have more creature comforts than you've ever had. Right? If and it's just the same thing. If you're able to drive everywhere and then you have to walk a mile, well, there were times where people had to walk 5 miles to get groceries. Now you have to walk. It just hits you different.
I can see that.
So I do think there's something to that, and the other part of it is we also do know a lot more. Like there was a time when coaches, thinking they were doing the right thing, building mental toughness, like no water breaks. I know it's 96 degrees. You got it. Well, now we know that is dangerous. I mean, stupidly dangerous. And so, we have the hydration breaks during the World Cup. We have, parents making sure their kiddos and coaches making sure the kids are getting water every 15 minutes or so if it is a particularly hot and or humid day. And we just didn't know that back in the day. So we do make adjustments.
We found water to go in. I know we did.
Well, yeah.
We would have jumped in anything. You know what I mean? To stay cool.
I do know what you mean.
Yeah, I
That
mean,
is a
even
fact.
like growing up, we're also fatter now too. As a society,
Well, that
too,
is
so
very true as
We've
well.
also gotten nice and
A
fat.
lot of,
So,
yep.
I laugh all the time. I tell Carrie this. I was like, in college, it wasn't a thing to walk 3 miles to a party.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, now you're walking 3 blocks. You're like, who's driving?
Yeah, this is crazy. Yep.
It's really, really crazy. And then, what did Joe Bob call them? Creature comforts?
Yeah.
So we've become accustomed to. Well, I can see that.
Yeah. No, I think, anyways. All right, let's take a break here. When we come back, I do want to talk a little bit on the, I'm trying to think when it passed, I guess officially, but the
5 for 5.
Yeah, 5 for 5 and the implications thereof. All of that. We'll kick that around a little bit. On the other side of this time out, you're listening to the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show.
You look a bit nervous, eh?
Thierry, what's it like to stand in the FIFA World Cup stadium?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Just tell me. Come on.
It's not something that you can put into words.
Such a tease.
You can't rush it. You will find out when it's your time.
Thanks for the wisdom, coach. So, how much longer?
Now go and make history, my man. Here's the World Cup you've been waiting for.
Actually, the World Cup's been waiting for me.
That's the spirit. Just remember who drove you here.
Inspiring every step of the next legend. The official matchball carrier, proudly sponsored by Kia. Inspiration connects us all.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things, great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
Get our Best Wings USA, signature sauces, mouth-watering appetizers, or any of our delicious award-winning lube favorites.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. I'm always watching, always looking to reward more full-time fans. Because football isn't really football without you.
Lusk & Associates Sotheby's International Realty proudly presents the introduction of our new State College office at 314 South Borough Street in State College. At Sotheby's International Realty, we advertise locally, nationally, and internationally, bringing the best of advertising and promotion to each and every one of our properties, big or small. Call now.
A lot has changed about State College. One thing that hasn't is W.C. Clark's Coffee Roasters on 234 East Calder Way. 30 different varieties of specialty coffee beans sourced from over 25 countries and roasted with love each morning in Happy Valley for over 45 years. They'll ship their fresh roasted coffee from their doorstep to yours. Order online at statecollegecoffee.com. That's statecollegecoffee.com.
Hi, welcome to Timberland Federal Credit Union, a financial cooperative for its members, tracing all the way back to 1973.
Experience Timberland Federal Credit Union, where you're greeted with a smile and financial solutions are tailored to your unique life journey. Here, we're not just financial professionals, we're your neighbors, people invested in your financial needs, literacy, and empowerment. Your dreams matter to us, whether they're about buying a home, growing a nest egg, or embarking on new adventures. TFCU draws from the past and invests in the future, offering modern tools like online banking to give you the freedom to manage your money practically anytime. Additionally, we're passionate about giving back both time and resources because enhancing our community is at the core of why we're here. Visit TFCU in person or online to learn more about our services and apply for a membership today.
WFXX, once again.
The Fox, your sports radio.
Broadcasting live, loud and proud from Central PA's Sports Authority. WFXS America.
98.7, The Fox State College.
And back on a Tuesday afternoon at Quaker Steak and Lube. It is the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show. And we, again, spent probably the most time we've ever spent talking about soccer in the opening segment with the World Cup, I think capturing the imagination of most American sports fans here.
I think that you and I have a pretty good feel. I mean, we've talked a lot more World Cup than we have NBA basketball.
True. It's been more fun to watch. More
absolutely
interesting. Has. All right, let's get into the 5-5. The NCAA changing the rules. Now, officially, they go into effect in the fall of 2027.
I did see that.
But
and our friend out in Nebraska, the wrestler, he was going to fall underneath.
Well, so that is an interesting. Well, no, he's
No, he's done. So,
well, is he?
I don't know. How many times have they said it?
Yeah, that is a good question.
3 blocks. Let's get an Uber. Exactly right.
You're right, Sam. That's the way. And by the way, I'm right there with you. I mean, I'm not pointing an accusatory finger at anybody. It's just I'm with you. If it's let's just drive. What are we going to walk all that way for?
It is.
Again, it's.
We used to bike and walk everywhere.
Well,
I completely blew you up on the 5-for-5, and I apologize.
No, but it leads to a different. I had a conversation with somebody earlier today, and it wasn't. We were talking about the 5-5 a little bit, but it got me to think, and we were talking about the. I think strong possibility now that the Preserve College Sports Act is going to pass. And again, I have some mixed feelings about it because the idea that the government's going to get involved, that just rarely turns out well for everybody. At the same time, the NCAA has completely abandoned its role as the arbiter of athletics.
Because they wanted Congress and the government to be the bad guy.
Correct. And so, again, it's going to be interesting. I think it does give I think it gives us, those of us that want, quote unquote, big time college sports to continue above and beyond football and men's basketball, a fighting chance here. Because I think without this legislation, to me, it is almost inevitable that the non-revenue sports, which again is everything, and you might say, wow, Ironhead, there's a couple of, there's a few hockey programs. Okay. Yeah. Can we all agree that you need at least, I don't know what the absolute minimum would be, but I would say like 12 teams to make it a worthwhile, like if you have 3 teams that are making money in hockey, okay, great. You're going to play the same 2 teams 20 times. Like you need a league and you need some sort of a minimal commitment from other programs, and you need those programs to be relatively successful. And that's the one thing I do worry about with the Big Ten and the SEC right now is, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe, again, if you look at the NFL model of professional sports, maybe that is, hey, let the Big Ten and the SEC compete at the highest level, and then everybody else, well, not everybody else. There's a group of schools then or conferences that'll be in the next level, and then others could be in tiers below that.
Yep.
Maybe that ultimately is not even a bad way to go. It's one of the things with some of the non-revenue sports that I think is very concerning to me right now, and I'll use wrestling because that's the one I'm most familiar with. But like Penn State, Iowa, Oklahoma State, really good shape. But like financially, they can support, they can go long term. Seems like Virginia Tech is positioning itself pretty well. And there might be a handful of other teams, Nebraska, Michigan, Ohio State, that are able and willing to put enough into it. And I'm sure there's a few others. I'm not intentionally leaving anybody else out. But, again, for the sport to survive, and certainly for the sport to thrive, you can't have 10 or fewer schools that are able to compete on relatively even turf, right? Like you need more schools that feel like they have a chance anyway. And right now, I'm not sure if we don't get some legislation passed that there's even more than that are going to be able to just exist, let alone compete at a high level. And, again, we talk about it all the time in the sports context, and that's why I do think Major League Baseball is it feels like we are headed to a work stoppage or a strike next year because I think they need to get some sort of handle. It doesn't necessarily need to be the exact model that the other sports organizations, professional sports organizations are using. But there has to be some kind of a cap that allows teams within your league, within the structure of your sport, to have a competitive chance, right? Like that just seems instinctive to understand. It's the comparison would be like you want all of the franchises. If you are a restaurant franchise, right, you want all of your restaurants to be competing, right, to be as successful as they can be, but you need all of your franchises, or most of them, right, to be competitive, and if to be making money. And if there's some that aren't, you need to get rid of those, and then you look, and that's why you do have teams move from time to time. It's like, and there's different reasons. I mean, stadiums and all of that, but basically it's like, hey, is this area supporting it? No. All right, well, we need to move it to an area that is going to support it. Do the same thing with franchises, but you understand that it's not that the New York franchise is trying to drive the Atlanta franchise out of business. Now, you might be competing with the other, the other restaurants the way you would compete. Football's trying to outdo baseball and basketball. Fine, but you need all of the football teams to be relatively successful, talking about from a financial standpoint. And they know that. I don't know that the college teams and the college coaches understand that to the degree that they should for their sports to survive. I think there is such a focus right now on, hey, we've got to get as many resources. And I'm not even saying that it's a wrong-headed at the moment, but I do think it is short-sighted in that, all right, that's great. Oklahoma State and Penn State can put out a lot of dollars, provide great facilities, and if you're two of the only 5 teams that are left, well, okay. So somehow you've got to figure out a way to get some of the opportunity spread around here. And again, I'm not saying it needs to be completely equal, and it never has been when you look at the facilities and stuff for college football or for any of the college sports. But moving forward, you can't have one team with 105 scholarships and another with 20 and expect that, boy, this is going to be fun. This is going to be worthwhile competitive opportunity for people to check out and participate and watch.
Going ahead with the way it is set up right now for football and basketball, the Olympic sports are going to be gone within 15 years. I'm sorry.
Without the legislation, I think that's true. Yeah.
The way it is going right now, and that is everybody putting their eggs in the football and basketball. I mean, a whole nother subject over here, but let's talk about Title IX down the road. I mean, there's some Supreme Court rulings came out last week about the Title IX, but it's like that's the forgotten baby in the whole room is we're not even giving a crap about Title IX right now. It is all about fundraising, getting the fundraising and getting the profit shares to football and basketball players and building these monstrosities of programs. And what's the saying? Cut off your nose in spite of your face. I mean, that's what's going to happen. We're going to lose. The way that everything was introduced, and we said this 5 years ago when it was introduced, is that it is not sustainable. There's no freaking way it is sustainable this way with football and basketball taking 90% of the money. Yes, I know they make 150% of the money. I get it. I understand that. But if you're going to field 29 to 30 athletic school athletic programs, we can't do that the way it is right now. Cannot do it. And, if football and basketball go away and do their own thing, I mean, you said there's only 3 or 4 or 5 basketball team or wrestling teams, who could do that. And then, we could get to 10. You could probably do it. How many football teams can do what they're talking about doing? 30? 35? I mean, I'm sorry, but I think that Northwestern is too smart of a school to sit there and say we cannot keep up with the Joneses in the Big Ten.
Although they're trying. I mean, they just put all the money into the Penn State will help open the new stadium. At least that's the plan.
We're going.
But yes, I mean, that is exactly right. And again, maybe I want to tie it back a little bit to what we were talking about with soccer, because I do think one of the things that needs to be looked at, and I'm not necessarily saying it needs to change but I think it needs to be looked at, is, all right, are there other ways to fund opportunities for athletes to participate in the sports? And I don't want the government raising the funds. So let me just start there. That is not at all what I am suggesting. But there's obviously a lot of money. Sports is a passion of ours in the United States. I mean, there's no two ways about it. When you look at the money we invest in stadiums, the interest in attending games of all kinds. Again, soccer may not be American football or the NBA in terms of popularity, but there, you use the term niche. There are a lot of strong niche sports that have passionate followings, including soccer, including wrestling, including, again, go right down the list.
Tennis.
Long list of sports. So I think we, the American sports consumer, have shown that, listen, there is enough money floating around because of the interest in it to make this viable. But is there a better way to do it than the current college sports setup? The way, again, we keep talking about eventually this is not sustainable. But could you get the IOC? Could you get FIFA to some of these other national and international sports organizations to give money or to help raise money? Not even necessarily give, but hey, we're from FIFA, we're asking you, or we're from the U.S., I don't know what the U.S. Soccer Federation, whatever that is, can we get money to really develop again, in some cases, this already exists, right? In gymnastics, I mean, there are sports where that already occurs, and maybe to varying degrees. You could argue it already occurs in most, if not all, sports. But I'm saying at the collegiate level, is there a different way to go about creating advertising opportunities and or sponsorship networking opportunities for businesses and for student athletes and for the consumers? And I think that's already, I mean, that's what most athletic directors now are looking at. But again, it's going to be very different at a Penn State or a Nebraska, or certainly in Ohio State or a Texas or in Alabama, than it is at a Temple or even Stanford.
Can we not just cap?
Well,
I mean, it's. I mean, I'm not the smartest man in the world, but if you have open-ended and you're trying to buy the best players, you're going to overspend.
The issue is still going to be, yes, you can, but we keep coming back to the very real problem, to which I truly don't know what the solution is, which is you have to have, like, the salary cap was bargained in the NFL and the NBA. Correct. And it's going to be attempted to be bargained into Major League Baseball next year. But with those organizations, it is, you have, right, a union, you have the reps. What is problematic still, very problematic as I see it at the collegiate level, is, all right, yeah, we need to set up the collective bargaining. How do you set up that collective bargaining, and who represents?
Who are you bargaining with?
Yeah, who are you bargaining with, and who are you bargaining on behalf of? Because, again, in the NFL, it's obvious, all right, these are the people that are representing all of the players in the NFL. In college sports, the question is, all right, are you doing it at each university, which does not seem reasonable? But what does seem reasonable, perhaps, is at the conference level. What on the surface might seem most fair, but is not reasonable, would be, well, no, we're just doing it for all of the student athletes. Well, no, a swimmer at Temple University, I don't know why I'm picking on Temple today, but a swimmer at Temple University, I don't even know if Temple has swimming, and a starting quarterback at USC, we're not bargaining quite for the same thing, right? Like, you're not expecting to be bargaining for the same thing. So, again, is it by conference? Is it by sport? And if it's by sport, we come back again. All right. Are you doing it with some sort of a sport-specific organization? Because right now there isn't that in these college sports, right? It's the NCAA, at least in name. And if you're not doing it through, again, so you have to have a governing body, which you can negotiate with, and you have to have some sort of player representation that is able to bargain with whatever the governing organization is. But that is very problematic, right? Because, again,
well, you made the biggest point right there, and that's the quarterback at USC versus a swimmer at Temple. But that's a huge disparity right there. There's the question. So it's going to come down to football, basketball. That has not changed in the 35 years that I've been involved in NCAA sports. They are the two only moneymakers out there, correct?
Yeah, again, there may be a handful of other programs in other sports.
A couple years here and there that are making money. And when Tennessee women's basketball, UConn women's basketball.
And by the way, there are a lot of football programs that aren't making money.
Absolutely.
And a lot of men's basketball programs that aren't making money. But those are the two that are the ones that can generate at
Correct.
the big-time schools enough money to make the other sports viable.
Yeah, I mean, you got to deal with the football program in itself, and that starts at a conference level, then it goes to a national level. We get that. Basketball, the same thing, but then again, you need to worry about the Olympic sports, and that is they will not exist because every school is going to try to put every dollar into the other two profiting programs, and that's a shame, and that needs to not happen. So, you have said this from the start. I have said something from the start. I said the sustainability has been the issue since day one of the NIL, and you were always saying that the Olympic sports, they need to football and basketball need to break apart from the NCAA and just do their own freaking thing. I mean, they're the ones who are being controlled by the television markets anyway, and then take back the athletic programs in universities and go back to the Olympic model. I mean,
or get your hands around a way to make this more sustainable.
See, I'm still
the
thinking that
legislation.
Magically the genie can go back in the bottle a little bit with the NIL. Everybody I say to, and they're like, there's absolutely no way, because once kids start getting this money, you're not going to sit there and say, hey, we can't give this to you now. We can only give you are maxed out at $300,000. That's the bottom line. Sorry. Now, there is a way around that, and that's the 5 for 5 that we had just talked about, the way around I was saying the idiot at Nebraska who's 27 years old right now and still a sophomore, I think. But, he has 3 more years or 2 more years left to compete.
Well, I think he only
possibly,
has one, but yeah.
But he was grandfathered into the 5x5. So can we grandfather these NIL kids in here and then say, hey, 4 years from now when the new NIL stuff kicks in, that's the only thing that's going to happen. The only way to save the NCAA having anything to say with football and basketball not breaking apart. It's specifically, I'm sorry, the Big Ten and the SEC, and we'll throw in the ACC, Big 12. Okay, you get your 60 schools out of that. I think you can do it, but if that goes away, then the Olympic sports got to go back to their Olympic model. That's fine, and that's good. But is that going to happen? The NCAA can say, okay, well, you were going to max you guys out. It's their own damn fault, first of all, the NCAA.
Oh, no question about that.
Absolutely their own fault.
But yes, it should have been different, but we are where we are now.
But they're not making any kind of rules or legislation. They're not making any kind of rulings on anything because they don't want to stick their neck out because of lawsuits.
Well, the few things that they have, they keep getting
the 5 for 5. Is that them or is that is that Congress coming in and saying
no, that's the NCAA. But again, that is going to be challenged because it already is being challenged. Who are you to say
why I can or can't compete at this?
Correct. That say, listen, if I'm going for a graduate degree, but who are you to tell me that I can't keep earning money at the school that I am attending in the sport? Where, again, if an athlete isn't good enough to make it professional, or maybe is good enough, but would rather stay in the college town and be the local celebrity there, and all of the things that come with it. And again, I don't know enough about the legal ramifications here, but it feels like with the athletes not having negotiated this, that if the athlete says, who are you to just unilaterally, right? It seems
rules.
like the courts keep telling the NCAA
rules,
you can't unilaterally make these rules.
So you're saying that like when the NCAA says steroids are illegal?
Well, I think there's some legal components to that as well. But
if the NCAA said my rules are, you want to play in my sandbox, you got to play by these rules. You got 5 years, and I do like that, but I'm also a football player. I know you think of the world as a wrestler, and that the years of eligibility are a huge thing with wrestling. I mean, football was pretty clear cut for me. You know what I mean? You had 1 year red shirt, and then, like, I don't know if I was talking to you about this or not. Maybe it was Landon who we were talking about. He was amazed at it. I think it was. When I was trying to tell him how hard it was to get a medical red shirt.
Oh,
back when I played.
Yeah.
I mean, he could not believe the number. I said,
no,
Landon,
you had to have documentation.
I said, maybe 6 guys across the whole NCAA got a 6th year. And I said, now they just give them out like it's Halloween candy. Like, now they don't even ask questions. They're like, hey, do you want your 6th year? You can probably find the 6th year. You only played in 2 games.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. And I told him Chris Mazik, a guy I played with, he was the only guy I knew to get a 6th year. You know how he got shot 7 times.
Yeah.
That's pretty extenuating circumstances. Like, that was his
that
medical.
Qualified.
I mean, come on. And now it's just like they're just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
I mean, again, that's your own damn fault. You have created this NCAA because of what? Greed. Greed. They could have just paid us. I was talking again. I don't know if it was you or Landon. It seems like 6 months ago.
Yeah,
but it's only been 10 freaking days. But if they had just, like, when I was playing, $5,000 a month for each player.
Yeah.
That was $60,000. I'm not gonna. I don't know what my father's deceased, so I can't really ask him. I don't know if my dad was making $60,000 in 1990.
They could have built up to that. They could have. You would have been happy with $1,000 a month.
I got $44 freaking dollars a month.
That's what I'm saying.
And it was just like meal money week. It was
I mean, if back when
you're right.
When Joe first started, at least that I first remember him talking about this in the early 80s.
They did have money for
right.
them.
If they started with $500 a month, I mean $500. And that was basically what Joe, I don't know, I don't remember a specific money amount in it initially that he was talking about, but he was saying it's stipend. It wasn't even we're going to pay them or anything. It's just a stipend.
You're right.
So that, they have a little bit of spending opportunity.
Absolutely.
Because some of these kids are coming from really impoverished backgrounds and they're in college and they can't, his line was always they can't afford a pizza. When their buddies are buying a pizza, all we're asking for is for the time and effort that they are giving,
minimum wage
for their talents, is that we give them just a little something so that they have a little spending cash at their availability. And if they had just done that, again, none of this stuff, it would have increased over, and I don't know what it'd be up to now, but
exactly,
nobody would have given it a second thought, because it'd be like, all right, now you're being fair, quote unquote, fair to these guys.
$30,000, or I'm sorry, if they can get $300,000 as a college football player right now, and again, this is the whole. There might be one socialist side of me, and that would be it, and that is when it comes to like. There's a certain amount of money it should be split amongst those 105 guys, because I know what locker rooms are like. Everybody knows what the hell everybody makes and this and that, and it's a killer in the locker room when it comes to money. Anybody out there in the real world, in the professional world, you understand you don't talk about money. And this is what you have 17 to 23-year-old kids talking. They're going to talk about it. I've always asked you. I mean, my thing was like, hey, do these guys in the wrestling room know what Joe Schmo is? What is David Taylor a full ride? Has he got everything? It's like I in the locker room, a football locker room, you knew exactly what everybody was getting.
Yeah.
So back to point here, and that is that if they had just done something, something, and then like to the point right now where if it's $300,000 for 105 guys, how much money is that, Jeff? $30 million? We're paying 35 right now. You got a rebate, and all the kids are happy. Everybody's happy. No one would be complaining about this.
Yeah.
You got your education. You got your food paid for. You got $300,000 a year. Come on, man. And then that's the other thing that Joe said about the stipend was kids would not do stupid stuff if they had money in their pockets. I am more and more convinced of that. They're not going to go out and steal. They're not going to go out and look for somebody. Hey,
I don't know.
You want to buy my tickets? I had guys. We used to sell tickets, to try and make some cash.
Yeah.
It was what it was. You had to do what you had to do. I'm not saying go out and rape, pillage, and steal, but it took that away if you would have some money in your pocket.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that got me, I'm sorry, I'm going to go rant here.
All good.
Is that what was there in our era up till 15 years ago was the Pell Grant system. If you economically qualified for it, it was just a little. It was good money, and it used to infuriate me because my parents didn't have a pee to pee in, right? A pot to pee in, but I had to ask them for money. Where you had some teammates who were getting $5,000 a semester, or $3,000. It just didn't seem right to me because my father, me and Marco used to bitch about it because Marco's father owned a butcher shop, my dad owned a tire shop. Oh, the business owners disqualified. But then you're going to ask me, you're going to tell me that you think that Marco Rivera's dad and my father gave us $5,000 a semester? Well, crap. And that would cause animosity in the locker room.
Yeah.
It absolutely did because dudes walked in, you knew exactly what day it was. Cats are walking in, some of them driving new cars, some of them all blinged out or with the new outfits and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you had just given everybody something, I don't think guys would have gone out and done stupid stuff. But the Pell Grant got abused. Schools abused it. University of Miami got caught a big suspension for it because they were letting everybody get it, but they had to kick back to the guy who was doing it. Come on, man. It's just.
Is there anything where money's involved where somebody doesn't end up abusing it?
Right.
That's just unfortunately
GREED. Anytime you talk about money or issues, you just got to look at that. It's always going to be about greed.
Speaking of money, we got to make a little. We'll be right back with a second hour of the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show here from Quaker Steak and Lube in mere minutes.
You look a bit nervous, eh?
Thierry, what's it like to stand in the FIFA World Cup stadium?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Just tell me. Come on.
It's not something that you can put into words.
Such a tease.
You can't rush it. You will find out when it's your time.
Thanks for the wisdom, coach. So, how much longer?
Now go and make history, my man. Here's the World Cup you've been waiting for.
Actually, the World Cup's been waiting for me.
That's the spirit. Just remember who drove you here.
Inspiring every step of the next legend. The official matchball carrier, proudly sponsored by Kia. Inspiration connects us all.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things, great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
Get our Best Wings USA, signature sauces, mouth-watering appetizers, or any of our delicious award-winning lube favorites.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. I'm always watching, always looking to reward more full-time fans. Because football isn't really football without you.
Lusk & Associates Sotheby's International Realty proudly presents the introduction of our new State College office at 314 South Borough Street in State College. At Sotheby's International Realty, we advertise locally, nationally, and internationally, bringing the best of advertising and promotion to each and every one of our properties, big or small. Call now.
A lot has changed about State College. One thing that hasn't is W.C. Clark's Coffee Roasters on 234 East Calder Way. 30 different varieties of specialty coffee beans sourced from over 25 countries and roasted with love each morning in Happy Valley for over 45 years. They'll ship their fresh roasted coffee from their doorstep to yours. Order online at statecollegecoffee.com. That's statecollegecoffee.com.
Hi, welcome to Timberland Federal Credit Union, a financial cooperative for its members, tracing all the way back to 1973.
Experience Timberland Federal Credit Union, where you're greeted with a smile and financial solutions are tailored to your unique life journey. Here, we're not just financial professionals, we're your neighbors, people invested in your financial needs, literacy, and empowerment. Your dreams matter to us, whether they're about buying a home, growing a nest egg, or embarking on new adventures. TFCU draws from the past and invests in the future, offering modern tools like online banking to give you the freedom to manage your money practically anytime. Additionally, we're passionate about giving back both time and resources because enhancing our community is at the core of why we're here. Visit TFCU in person or online to learn more about our services and apply for a membership today.
WFXX, once again, the Fox, your sports radio.
Broadcasting live, loud and proud from Central PA Sports Authority, WFXS America.
98.7, the Fox State College.
And back on a Tuesday afternoon at Quaker Steak Lube. It is the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show. Back after, well, in my case, a 2-week hiatus. In the Goons' case, 1 week. And happy to be back here, enjoying some great food and beverage and all of the sports on the various TVs. Again, if you are a sports fan, this is the place to come on down and enjoy those sports because you can do so with some great company, great service, outstanding food, and some cold beverages if you so choose.
Coldest in town.
The all-you-can-eat wing buffet, by the way, gets underway at 4 o'clock as we go off the air here this afternoon. Can't beat that.
No. Not with a stick, fine, sir.
All of your favorite wing sauces and the normal wings that they serve. Nice, big, meaty wings available here for the all-you-can-eat wing buffet. Again, that gets underway at 4 o'clock every Tuesday.
And then next week, what do we say next Tuesday is? Home Run Derby. Next
And
Tuesday night.
the Mad Turtles' birthday. Well, no, that's on Monday next week.
Bring him in.
Got that going. Well, he'll be down in Maryland, actually.
Oh, okay.
Doing some scout camping next week.
You going with?
Nope, he's on his own for this one.
No Marissa?
With, nope, just down there with other scouts. So big step forward in the
still a Boy Scout, no Weeblo yet? Is there still
no?
Weeblos?
He's out of Cub Scouts. We're in
that's right. Cub Scout, Weeblo, Boy Scout.
Now he's into Scouts. The American Pride damaged last night. But we'd been on a roll, and Joey Chestnut, dear Goon, even through the heat. I mean, it wasn't record-setting, and I do think the heat had something to do with that. But, I mean, you have to take pride as an American, having the only human being that can consume 66 or more hot dogs, but 66 with the weather conditions that were in play at
I was happy he didn't choke slam anybody this year like he had done in one of the years past.
The famous hot dog eating contest.
It's disgusting.
It's amazing.
He
is just unbelievable. Like if it wasn't for Joey Chestnut, you would think it's just not possible for one person to down more than about 50 hot dogs and buns.
I'm with you on that one.
In 10 minutes. And actually, truthfully, if I hadn't seen it and didn't know about the other individuals out there, I'm not sure that I would believe anybody, even the big eaters out there and stuff, I'm not sure I believe anybody could get down more than about 20. I mean, if you think
What do you
about
mean
that,
big
that
eaters?
is
Like the professional people or like
anybody.
like,
I'm
or
saying
some
if you
mutant
weren't
friends?
aware of the people out there that are consuming that, like somehow you were just in a sheltered world, and you know what a hot dog tastes like and what it takes to consume it. I'm telling you, if there is somebody, like if you went to a remote village somewhere and you said, how many of these hot dogs and buns do you think some other human being could like the record setter, right? How many do you think somebody could consume?
Wasn't Kobayashi doing 40 and 50?
I don't think anybody would believe that you could do more than about 20.
Oh,
because if you yourself try it sometime, like once you get about 5 down, you're like, I think I'm good.
5.
I think I'm good. I think
I'm sick.
I think we're calling it a day.
And then hold on.
And you're like, all right, well, there's got to be
these
somebody out
rolls.
there that could do more than that. But I'm telling you, if we didn't have the availability to see these competitive eaters, 20 would be about like that would seem crazy that somebody could get down 20 hot dogs in 10 minutes.
What would be alarming to you? Marco Rivera, my old college roommate, he would eat a dozen egg omelet every morning in the summer. That's pretty extreme. That's a lot of eggs.
That's a lot of eggs.
Now, does that impress you?
Well, not compared to the competitive
not
eaters,
66,
because
but
people are eating
mean,
over 100 eggs in 10 minutes, whatever the record is.
Oh, well, no. I'm not talking about. I'm just saying like big eaters in general. Like when he and I were in college.
Yeah, I'm saying that's impressive until you realize that there are people out there that can consume.
So we would cook dinner. And like in the summertime when they used to give us money, they used to pay us money in the summertime because we were off scholarships. You lived off campus. So we would cook 2 pounds of pasta and 2 pounds of ground beef. And then we would split it. We would eat a pound of beef and a pound of burger each. I mean, again, that sounds pretty extreme, and you're like, holy crap, this and that. And then
that seems pretty extreme.
And then all of a sudden, then you're going to see a guy, Joey Chestnut, on there and eat 66 Nathan's hot dogs in 10 minutes. I mean, 10, I would be impressed with.
Yes.
I remember going to, me and Noble would go to Taco Bell, and we'd order a 10-pack of chicken soft tacos each. And we'd hammer them in 10 minutes, this and that. And that was like, oh, wow, that's pretty big. How many are they eating? 150?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's bonkers.
Motto. It's pretty disgusting.
Well, I mean, sure, there's that. But it's also pretty
And
impressive.
some of the Eric Badlands Booker, when he drank a gallon of lemonade in the fastest anybody's ever drank, that's unbelievable.
Record setters.
Yes, and it's disturbing. So we are talking about,
but
how
American
very
pride.
impressive America has been to the Europeans and the World Cup people that have come across from foreign lands have been so impressed by everything.
They don't have anybody in Europe that's down
that
to
just
66
must have-
hot dogs in
the
10
Joey
minutes. I'll tell
Chestnut
you
thing
that
must
right
have
now.
just blown people away.
Yep.
I mean, I seen Messi score 2 goals in a game in 35 seconds. I seen Argentina come back from a 3-0 or 2-0 deficit to win in the last 12 minutes.
That's
but
good.
Have you seen Joey Chestnut?
Yeah, I mean,
eat
that stuff's all good.
66 freaking hot dogs in 10 minutes. God.
That is, yeah, I mean, that is.
Did you see how beautiful the fireworks display were for America 250 and the aerial displays were? Yeah, but did you see Joey freaking Chestnut? Oh, Lord.
Yeah, the separation
there's
there
just
from, like, yeah, there's nobody close.
No. And there's
Nobody
nobody
close.
even like remotely close. Like, well, when does it
I
end?
mean, it was like Tiger when he was at his top, but to do it as consistently as Joey Chestnut does it is crazy.
I ever tell you the craziest bet I ever saw? A prop bet. And this is how
No.
good you just said Tiger Woods.
I wonder what the over-under was for Chestnut on, because they had to be taking into account the weather, right? I'll have to look that up. There had to be
The heat?
There had to be a line, right?
I mean, they have fans.
I'll bet it was over 66.
Sure, there's a line. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll bet he ended up under. I'm going to have to look that up.
But
now.
You talk about Tiger Woods and then just insane bets of how good he was.
Yeah.
So I saw a prep bet one time. Tiger Woods major wins in a full season on the PGA Tour versus how many one seeds would make the Final Four in the NCAA basketball tournament. That was literally a freaking bet. That is how unbelievable Tiger was at that point. And I think Tiger won. Which just, I mean, that is as dominant as an athlete as I've ever seen at that point. And when he won the U.S. Open with that broken leg, remember? That was insane. Just absolutely insane.
He did end up under. They had, depending on which book you were using, anywhere from 70.5 to 72.5 was the line. So I don't think they were taking into enough.
So what was the
account of the?
What was his record?
I actually didn't see it live. I think the record was 78. I want to say. High 70s, I believe. Let me look
now,
up.
You said you watched replay though. What did number 2 come in? How many? I mean, did they hit 30?
I don't think. I'd have to look that up.
And then also, how do you go in there and say like, oh yeah, well, I'm going to give this a shot, and then you look over and he's done 40 in 6 minutes.
Oh yeah.
I mean, do you just stop eating and say, I'm not?
It has to be demoralizing.
I am literally not going to kill myself today for this.
It would be demoralizing, no doubt. No, I don't know how you take it to that much of a different level than anybody else on the planet.
It's so impressive and scary and disgusting at the same time. I've heard those same 3 things about me.
Yeah.
Sure.
You got that.
So,
right.
in your ideal world, Jeffrey, do you think...
Yeah.
Now, take yourself out of Penn State Wrestling shoes.
76 is the record. 2021.
What do you think? Again, take out that they have won 13 of the last 14 titles or 13 of the last 15, right? Or 12 of the last 14. What is it, 13, 15?
Penn State has won 13 of the last 15, yeah.
Take that out of account.
Yeah.
What would you think that, say you're Ohio State, what do you think? Should the schools be paying these kids just a regular amount, like we talked about? I want to push for all the same people getting the same amount of money, but I think that obviously football and basketball should get the king's ransom of that whole thing because they're the ones bringing in the money. They should be paid. Now, you're in a world right now where you got guys that are 5-time national champions. Like, and by the way, let's talk about that. Remember, a year ago we said there's no way there's never going to be another chance for a man to win 5 national titles.
We did put the caveat unless the rules change because there was the kid that was, and I don't think that's been resolved, but he was arguing in court that they shouldn't be limited to 4 years. So,
what do you propose? I mean, obviously, I don't propose a wrestler and a basketball player, football player getting the same amount of money. You know what I mean? And where should the money come from? Should we individually run, or should it be just pure profit share? And there should be a cap because that's just my Again, I am as far from a socialist as you possibly could be, but in these situations, I'm like, well, you know what? The quarterback and the 4-string center, who's a true freshman, yeah, they should not be making this amount of money, but it's the easiest way to keep it clean.
Yeah, and again, they can still go out and get
on their own
additional advertising revenue.
Yeah,
by the way,
you're going to have to ask the school to say, you don't think the school's going to try and help them get out and get money elsewhere?
Patrick Bertoletti had 50 hot dogs
50?
down, which is pretty darn impressive on Saturday. But still, 16 shy of Joey Chestnut.
That's 5 freaking Nathans a minute.
Hot dog and bun.
That's a hot dog every 12 seconds.
Yeah, it is. It's. I am still fascinated by it. I know it is.
They have different
people
systems
get
than we do,
disgusted and stuff, but it's just fascinating.
They have to. Like these little Asian ladies, that Black Widow girl who goes around and eats like 20-pound lasagnas. Like,
well, yeah,
what is going
it's
on there?
just like
there's a different compartment that they have.
Well, I mean, there's different people with different. Yes, I don't know exactly, but yeah, I mean, you have to have the gullet that allows you to get it down that quickly, right? There's people that have like a gag reflex that won't let them chug to the degree that other people can chug. And so, yeah, I don't know what all is involved, but obviously, yeah, there is something mentally different, but also biologically different with a Joey Chestnut. It's just like, Lance Armstrong and his lung capacity. And I just saw, did you see the reason that's on my mind is Ben Askren did and I don't know when this was. I just saw it over the holiday weekend here. So this might be, I have no idea when this was from. It looked pretty recent, but I might have been quite a while ago. But they were doing there's like a device that can test your lung capacity. And Ben Askren was doing it with Mitchell Messenbrink. And I forget the exact numbers, and I don't even know what the numbers exactly mean. But I think Askren said the highest he had ever seen before, or he had blown, was like a 6.9. I think it was that he had seen. And Messenbrink was like in double digits. I mean, it was like
well, that explains
like crazy.
How he wears guys
well, that
out.
was that.
Now, was that like a genetic thing that he has trained himself, or is he born?
Well, no, I think that's I think lung. I mean, I'm sure you can train yourself to some degree, but just like Lance Armstrong, I mean, it's God-given ability. Joey Chestnut, God made him to eat hot dogs. Gave him the special ability, and he took it and ran with it.
I used to be able to drink beer with the
level.
best of them. Not no more, man. I mean, age. When's Joey going to slow down?
Is he going to slow down? That's my question. Yeah, I don't know when peak. Different sports. There's like peak ages. When is peak age for competitive eating? You'd think it'd be like late 30s, right? Mid to late 30s for men. Maybe even earlier than that. Chestnut seems to be defying.
Well, I got my wife on the question I asked you a couple of weeks ago when we were talking.
Just because I'm thinking metabolism-wise, right? Like your metabolism slows down after, 40 anyway.
I was 29, and I swear to God, mine just said, you know what? I'm out of town.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely. So
I did ask Carrie this weekend. We were talking about how, like, women's tennis, why is it that a 14-year-old girl can go in there and dominate women's tennis where there's not a chance in absolute hell of a 14-year-old male ever going in and doing what a female tennis player can do? And it was just like, is it the maturity level, the physical maturity? But I'm sorry, but a 23 or 24-year-old woman is going to be more physically mature than a 14-year-old Monica Seles, Steffi Graf, like crazy stuff. But why does it seem to happen more in women's tennis than anything? Yeah, it's one of those questions, Jeffrey.
Yeah.
One of those things, buddy. You still mesmerized by that? You should get out a wing bowl this year.
That's a good one to go to as well. Doesn't have quite the same panache as the hot dog eating contest.
That'll be too late. It'll be the Eagles Steelers, so we'll actually be at the Super Bowl. We won't be able to make it. I was giving you a little love there to the Aaron Rodgers-led Pittsburgh Steelers.
That's right.
Playing in the Super Bowl.
Could happen. Theoretically. Could happen.
If you think it's going to happen, I know a bookie who might take that bet.
I mean, I'm just saying it could.
It could. It physically could. Mentally could. Could actually physically happen.
Theoretically. Anyway.
On paper, it could happen.
Yeah, on paper, the Pirates were going to be. Actually, they're hanging around enough that they can still make this interesting, at least in terms of getting into the postseason.
Well, talk to me next Monday.
Year, but
because they got 6 games before the All-Star break, and that's against Atlanta and Milwaukee.
Yeah, these are a couple of big series, no question about that.
And I saw
much like the U.S. soccer
mind.
team, it seems like every time you start building the Pirates up, and all right, here's a big opportunity, they get swept or they lose 2 of 3 or what have you. But
that's all right.
It does feel like a big opportunity again to try to prove that, hey, Pirates are right there.
It should be okay.
Offense has been
pitching tonight.
Offense has been they can overcome that.
They have lost. Did you see
it
the
has
stat?
been a brutal stretch.
9
straight it has been a brutal
losses
stretch
with him pitching.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
And I mean, I do think some of it is the so-called sophomore slump. I do think there is something to, people kind of figuring some things out. I think he'll long term. I'm still bullish on Paul Skeens, but this has been tough, and it is weird because a big part of it is certainly Skeens. I mean, he is not having the same effectiveness that he did a year ago, but also this Pirates offense is as good of a Pirates offense as we've seen since the late 70s, and they go quiet, or at least much quieter when Skeens, like early in the season, they had overcome them. I mean, that was the big thing last year, but last year they had a lousy offense. It's like, well, even when they're on, they're only going to give you a few runs. So it wasn't like that big of a deal that they weren't giving the run support to Skeens, because it wasn't like they were giving overwhelming run support to anybody on the staff. This year, they actually have a really good offense. They're putting up, the numbers are pretty impressive. And early in the year, they were providing that offense for Skeens. Not so much over the last month plus. And it's the feeling you had last year when Skeens took the mound, and the feeling you have now, at least at this stage of the season as a Pirates fan, substantially different. A
little bit, buddy.
Take a break here. We are back with a final
great
segment.
Subject when we come back.
Excellent. It's the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show.
You look a bit nervous, eh?
Thierry, what's it like to stand in the FIFA World Cup stadium?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Just tell me. Come on.
It's not something that you can put into words.
Such a tease.
You can't rush it. You will find out when it's your time.
Thanks for the wisdom, coach. So, how much longer?
Now go and make history, my man. Here's the World Cup you've been waiting for.
Actually, the World Cup's been waiting for me.
That's the spirit. Just remember who drove you here.
Inspiring every step of the next legend. The official matchball carrier, proudly sponsored by Kia. Inspiration connects us all.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things, great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
Get our Best Wings USA signature sauces, mouth-watering appetizers, or any of our delicious award-winning lube favorites.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. I'm always watching, always looking to reward more full-time fans. Because football isn't really football without you.
Lusk & Associates Sotheby's International Realty proudly presents the introduction of our new State College office at 314 South Borough Street in State College. At Sotheby's International Realty, we advertise locally, nationally, and internationally, bringing the best of advertising and promotion to each and every one of our properties, big or small. Call now.
A lot has changed about State College. One thing that hasn't is W.C. Clark's Coffee Roasters on 234 East Calder Way. 30 different varieties of specialty coffee beans sourced from over 25 countries and roasted with love each morning in Happy Valley for over 45 years. They'll ship their fresh roasted coffee from their doorstep to yours. Order online at statecollegecoffee.com. That's statecollegecoffee.com.
Hi, welcome to Timberland Federal Credit Union, a financial cooperative for its members, tracing all the way back to 1973.
Experience Timberland Federal Credit Union, where you're greeted with a smile and financial solutions are tailored to your unique life journey. Here, we're not just financial professionals, we're your neighbors. People invested in your financial needs, literacy, and empowerment. Your dreams matter to us, whether they're about buying a home, growing a nest egg, or embarking on new adventures. TFCU draws from the past and invests in the future, offering modern tools like online banking to give you the freedom to manage your money practically anytime. Additionally, we're passionate about giving back both time and resources because enhancing our community is at the core of why we're here. Visit TFCU in person or online to learn more about our services and apply for a membership today.
WFXX, once again, the Fox, your sports radio.
Broadcasting live, loud and proud from Central PA Sports Authority, WFXS America.
98.7, the Fox, State College.
And back here on a Tuesday afternoon, it's the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show. Again, Quaker Steak Lube will have the all-you-can-eat wing buffet getting underway as we wrap things up here this afternoon at 4 o'clock. As Goon shared with you early in the program today, Connor Griffin with a torn tendon in his left finger, and so it looks like he is heading to the injured list. And again, great catch in Sunday's game. It really was a spectacular effort laying out for it, but appears he is headed back to the injured list, and they are reporting it could be a month that he is out. Second injury of his rookie season here with the beloved Buccos.
Still over 500?
Yep, game over 500 going into excuse me, what feels like another big 6-game stretch. As Goon said, the Braves coming into Pittsburgh for a 3-game series starting tonight. And then the Brewers will wrap things up before the All-Star break. The Brewers are threatening to run away here with the National League Central.
I hope you didn't watch that Phillies game yesterday.
Yeah, that was not an especially competitive game.
No.
Got one ready if you watch that. Got you prepared for what was happening in the U.S. men's soccer game with Belgium.
I don't think I've ever seen it at Major League Baseball level, but Royals scored every inning.
Did they?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know I hadn't seen it. And then the Phillies had 10 hits, but only had 1 run. That seemed like a lot, doesn't it? That's some timely hitting right there, boys.
Yep.
Way to go. So, yes, that was a very horrible. We were up at my wife's hometown this past week for the whole week. So, got home early Monday morning, and then I was all jacked up to watch the game yesterday afternoon, getting ready to watch the game. And Trey Turner throws an error in the first inning. It would have ended the inning at, no runs or whatever, and then they popped out 6.
It is amazing. At any level of baseball.
You give a guy an extra out.
Yep.
It's unbelievable.
The errors in particular, I mean, walks also, but errors just, and, you know, all coaches at all levels talk about it all the time. But really, if you can make the routine plays routinely, it goes a long, long way toward giving your team a chance to win. And, you know, you throw the ball away or you boot a grounder. It is amazing how often that ends up biting you and you know, to varying degrees, obviously. But, yeah, it is.
It's amazing
big
even at that level, even when you're watching your kid play.
Yep.
And you're sitting there saying you can't give these guys extra outs because they always burn them on it, even at the major league level. It's insane. The Phillies won 2 games last week with 2 outs and 2 strikes in the 9th inning. Both of those games should have been over. A guy out in left or right field made a misplay or whatever and gave them an extra out. And sure as hell he comes up and hits a 2-run homer to tie the game, or, you know, it was just one of those things. I remember just sitting there like, man, even Little League, like even the stuff you say Little League, it still happens at that level, and it's amazing.
Yeah, so, Argentina again, they're putting up this 78th minute today. They were down 2-0, and they end up beating Egypt 3-2. In regulation time. I mean, it was it was amazing.
It was damn amazing. I mean, again, I remember sitting there watching this saying, well, this game's over because I've watched a little bit enough, which is about 4 games.
Can I tell you what so every time there is a great comeback like this in any sport, the topic tonight and tomorrow on the ESPN shows will be
LeBron James.
Was
and Aaron
it more?
Rodgers?
Well, that too. Was it more? Did Argentina win it, or did Egypt lose it? Like, that's always, and of course the answer is always it's a little bit of both. Obviously, Egypt. I mean, that is devastating, and you didn't do what you needed to do to protect the lead. But also, holy smokes, man! Like, that is crazy resilience.
Yeah, for a sport
and execution by
for a
Argentina.
sport does not just like produce goals after goals after goals. I mean, it's not hockey. It's you got to work for a goal. I mean, you really, really, truly need to work for a goal. And a lot of stuff happened right for you, and it did. And man, I didn't think it was possible, but they made it happen. The old Messi. So. All right, so me and the buddies were talking today.
Yeah.
I think we have talked about this before in the past, but we were bringing up some more examples, and I got a couple more names for you. So off the air we were talking, but I'm talking about like the state of Pennsylvania athletics and the 70s and in the 80s was just unbelievable. East and West, it was just a dominant in collegiate sports and in professional sports. It was unbelievable. It was like the center of the universe.
It is funny how I think your perspective on life, I guess, is shaped by what happens in your childhood or early memories, right? And so it is one of those things. Like, I have a
Mike
buddy.
Schmidt's a tool. It will always be.
I have a buddy who is a huge Cleveland sports fan.
Okay.
And he is just always expecting the worst to happen. Like, in just about everything, but certainly in
I married
his
one
sports
of them.
world. And whereas I'm not saying it's the sole reason, but I tend to be very much an optimist, and hey, things are going to work out. And, you know, even through tough times, it's like, there's always a silver lining. And I do think part of it, I'm not saying it's the full explanation, but it really was crazy when I think back on it. And growing up, and I wasn't a hockey fan really when I was a kid. So I knew the Penguins, but I wasn't following it. They weren't accessible here in the State College area. or if they were, I wasn't aware that they were. And so, but I, huge Pirates and Steelers fan. And yeah, the Pirates, I mean, I don't really remember the 71 series, but at an early age, people are talking about that. And I'm, seeing the highlights from it. And obviously the Roberto Clemente legend is part of my childhood. Again, I don't really remember seeing him. But he was very much a big figure. But the Steelers, I think I truly thought, well, yeah, it's going to be like every other year. The Steelers, it would be like if you grew up with Tom Brady and you're in the New England area, you're in Boston, it's like you're probably thinking, well, this is awesome. Like the sports world is set up so that I get to see my team in the Super Bowl at least every other year. And whereas, again, if you're growing up in
Buffalo, Philadelphia,
yep, Cleveland,
Detroit,
and a lot of those places. So not only, again, big Pirates and Steelers fan as a kid, and they're winning championships and the City of Champions in '79 and all of that. And then Penn State is competitive up throughout the 70s. And then obviously, boom, they are one of the big stories in the 80s in college football. And so, yeah, you're thinking this is just the way the world is supposed to work. It's like, yeah, the Steelers win Super Bowls, Pirates win World Series, Penn State wins national championships. Just part of the expectation, and then voila. Steelers have had a couple, but yeah, Penn State football should have had, rightfully had a national title in '94. But other than that, it's been a tough go on the Major League Baseball and Penn State front. Obviously, Penn State has had plenty of very exciting seasons and games and all of that. Not as much with the Pirates. 3-season run there that will stand out, but outside of that, it's been pretty tough sledding.
Sure. So
growing up, it was a pretty special era.
Just started talking because a couple guys from Pittsburgh were talking about like the sheer studs that played for the Pitt Panthers, even up until the last 10 years. I mean, let's go back into the 80s, and so we just started talking with the offensive line just alone. Bill Frelick, one of the probably, if not one of the best, top 5 all time in NFL history, college football, NFL history, all of that stuff. Jimbo Colbert, Russ Grimm, Mark May. There's all of these guys on that team. Yeah. Then you go on the defense. You got Hugh Green. You got Dan Marino. You got Dorsett winning a national title and a Heisman in '76. We go back to '71, and then we started talking how about the state of Pennsylvania in the '70s and the '80s? So we go back and start in '71. You're gonna, let's kick off with the, Roberto Clemente's Pirates, and then you get in the '73. You got Cappy winning the Heisman Trophy. I mean, you got to throw him in there. You got Dorsett winning in '76 and a national title. You got Danny Marino. You got all these guys at Pitt, all these great teams at Pitt. And then you got, the Flyers win 2 cups then, play for 2 more. Yeah. Play for 4 more until the mid-'80s. Lose them all, of course. But then you have the Sixers. I mean, you just said about, this is like the Steelers win it every year. Like the Philadelphia Phillies had never won a World Series until 1980. 1980 was their first World Series ever. When I was 6 years old, I was like, hey, this is all right. This is how it is, right? 83, they play for another one, lose it. But still, and then you look at Penn State jumps on board then. It's just absolutely amazing. And the Penguins were the only team that really didn't do anything. But they caught up the hell, and they got 5 titles since 1991, 5 cups. Just what a time in the state of Pennsylvania for sports in those 15, 20 years. Yeah. Just amazing.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, man. And then we're looking at, and then to get back to Bash and Pitt here, the amount of stars that they have had to only have 1 national title and even be not even relevant the last 30 years. I mean, to have Aaron Donald, who I watched a show the other day, and I think it was Chris Long. He was talking, and they were talking about Aaron Donald, and I have never. I mean, the only other person I have ever heard talked about like that was Reggie White, where his teammates and his peers were like, "You weren't blocking him." If Reggie wanted to do something, he was going to do exactly what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
And Aaron Donald was absolutely, and they're saying that he might be the best defensive lineman in the history of football. I mean, that is unbelievable to come from Pitt and then never win anything there. Larry Fitzgerald.
Well, yeah, I was just going to say. Yeah.
Like, you have these guys who were guaranteed college, Curtis Martin, guaranteed college football Hall of Famers, NFL Hall of Famers, who really didn't, they went to Pitt. It was like an individual. They weren't a team.
Yeah.
But, it just goes back to the whole, that Pennsylvania 20-year period where I said you had Villanova winning a national title. I mean, I know they're not Philadelphia, but it's outside of Philadelphia, close enough. But, the Big East getting started, and I was like, the Big East could have kicked ass if they had let Penn State join the Big East. What would have been different, when we joined the Big Ten? Obviously, it has worked out well for us financially. Obviously, there's no doubt about that. I mean, hell, we're cashing $300 million checks at a time now. I don't think we'd be doing that in the Big East.
You do wonder. I mean, again, it's an exercise in futility, and I understand that. But it's still fun to speculate.
Hey,
and it
it's
would be
July,
fun.
and we're sports radio guys.
That's part of it. But I do wish there was like a way you could legitimately, use that time machine and just go back and just for grins and giggles, let's see how this plays out and how different would and I don't even not even saying necessarily better or worse. It would be different, right? If they had formed the Big East then, and I don't know what other moves would still have occurred or not occurred. Because certainly Penn State joining the Big Ten was a domino effect to that. I mean, there's no doubt about it. If the Big East had formed, presumably there would have been a domino effect there as well, but completely different, obviously. And I don't know long term how that would have played out.
I think
there's no real point to trying to figure that out, but it's fun to speculate.
The four independents on the East Coast would have joined the Big East, and I'm saying East Coast, and I'm including Miami in that. I think that Miami would have joined because, again, if everybody was joining conferences, that's what happened when Penn State joined the Big Ten.
I don't know. Goon, you can't have in one conference, though, teams from different regions of the country like that. The Southeast and the Northeast.
Well, I'm even throwing Florida
you have
State
to have
in.
What? You're crazy.
Florida State, Miami, Virginia Tech, and Penn State would have been great additions.
The geography doesn't
the
work
Big
there
East.
for the conference like that, Goon.
What about 4 time zones? That'll work for field hockey, right?
What is that? I'll be a son of a
Well, they
gun.
don't play field hockey in the West Coast, so we're okay. No lacrosse either. So, I mean, just think of the Big East. I mean, you'll start up north with Boston College, Syracuse, Rutgers, Penn State.
Well, and what
Pitt,
would the
West Virginia, Virginia Tech, and then we would start skipping over people, or would some ACC teams jump ship, join the? I don't know. I would. It's a great question.
It is. It would be fascinating.
I'd like to go back and smack Jim Boeheim in his face. What a tool! I'd like to do that a couple different times in his career. No, but he was like one who was all against it because it was a basketball conference. I mean, I watched that 30 for 30 last week on the Requiem for the Big Ten or the Big East. It was really good.
Yeah,
it was really good, and they were talking about the elephant in the room. Yeah, the freaking elephant in the room is the little 5'5" Italian guy in State College, Pennsylvania, who our basketball team wasn't good enough to join the Big East, but yet,
which if
they
you
made
stop and think
20
about
times
that,
more playing football.
But plus, the thing that has never really made a lot of sense to me about that is because Penn State was looked at as the big dog, right, in this region of the country because of football. But I mean that is like, so why not take the opportunity to kick them in another? Hey, this is our chance to show Penn State who's who. Like, it just seems weird to me that they. Because if you're seeing that you have the capital for basketball anyway, and Penn State's not bringing anything to it, well, fine.
What does it matter?
I mean, it's not hurting you, and it's a chance to get a W if you're looking at it that way. Like, I don't know.
And
that just is still
zeros.
fascinating to me. Well, yes, and then on the
I
football.
personally think it was the basketball coaches didn't want Paterno in there because he would be the lead dog. He would be the face of the Big East. And Jimmy Boeheim and John Thompson and Raleigh Massimino, Carlesimo. Not Carlesimo. Yeah, he was there.
Yeah,
Who was the St. John's coach?
I don't know. Well, Carasaka back then. Yeah.
You got Calhoun. You got Patino. I mean, there's a lot of freaking names and a lot of auras, a lot of like personalities in there. Where Boeheim's the one who was always against Penn State.
Oh yeah,
but I am convinced that was more of a. I don't want to lose any of this. I mean, I'm Jim Boeheim. I'm not going to play second fiddle to anybody. You know, I think Joe would have come in.
Right. I don't know.
He'd have been the face of the Big East.
Yeah,
it should have happened. The fact that it didn't is an absolute travesty. I mean,
it ultimately worked out very well for Penn State, but you do wonder. I wonder with the trajectory of the other programs. And again, I'm not sitting here telling you that, well, Syracuse athletics would be thriving if they, I don't know. I'm just, I'm wondering aloud. How, well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how differently it would have, I mean, it would be different for sure, but like, I don't know. Would it have elevated those programs or would ultimately the Big Ten and the SEC, I don't know. It just would be, really
you're not going to ever
fascinating
change
to go
my
back
mind.
and look.
We're the one who changed the freaking Big Ten.
Well, we definitely changed
their attitude.
The perspective that the Big Ten had.
So they still would be sitting out there worrying about their
objectives are
singing their fight songs in the Rose Bowl locker room. That's all they're freaking worried about. But you got Joe out there, and I think the Big Ten would have stayed in their freaking ways, man. And I think that the Big East, if we had added Penn State, Miami, Florida State, I mean, look at those coaches. You got Virginia Tech, bring him in. Holy crap, man. That's a lot. I don't know.
That's
a lot of power, man.
I mean, if you were able to, do all of that,
look at those teams in the 80s.
It would have been
Miami, 4 national titles. Penn State, 2 national titles. Florida State spent 17 years in the top 10.
Yeah.
Virginia Tech playing for a national title. Come on, it's unbelievable. Yes. This is why you talk about stuff in July, baby.
Yeah. No, it would have been fun to see. It would have been fun to watch and see how
seeing Patrick Ewing come up the rec hall.
Yeah, the other part of it, Goon, is what would Notre Dame? Would anything have changed with Notre Dame? I don't know, but if the Big East, with that Eastern Conference, if they had used their leverage, right, to try to lobby Notre Dame, maybe that part still stays the same, but I think it would have been interesting, and I think the Big Ten probably would have put a little more pressure on Notre Dame.
On Notre Dame to join.
I think so too, but I think I don't know.
I don't know. The Big Ten was stubborn as hell. You know that, and arrogant, absolutely arrogant.
No, I never noticed that.
Yeah,
you think the Big Ten was arrogant?
They're fans too. I don't know if you noticed that. Too.
No, I never picked up on that. Huh?
True story.
I'll have to keep an eye out for that. Interesting.
It is what it is.
Never noticed.
Today's show just be called "What If."
Well,
a lot of what if questions today, buddy. Huh? No, it's a great.
The Pirates had an owner that wanted to win. What if?
You got Denny
Would things be different? Would they have an opportunity to go win a World Series? We'll never know.
They'd have to go through Philadelphia. No, it's not going to happen. Good
I don't know.
Good split of that series.
I don't know.
Congratulations.
Yeah, we'll take it, especially after the previous series. We'll take the 4-game split and be happy about it.
Sure. So will Allen.
Yes, undoubtedly. Again, the all-you-can-eat wing buffet is coming up in mere minutes, less than 5 to be precise. Here at Quaker Steak Lube, we'd encourage you to come on down and get those wings. And we would strongly encourage you to tune back in for Thursday's show. Just 2 days from now, we'll be back talking probably some more World Cup.
Time Machine 2000s.
Oh, early 2000s.
It's a great conversation.
Let's fast forward to 2005. I didn't like the early 2000s as much.
This is true.
But we will get into all kinds
if we're in the
of
Big East, we wouldn't have that problem.
Topics undoubtedly on Thursday's show. Until then, be good and be safe.
You look a bit nervous, eh?
Thierry, what's it like to stand in the FIFA World Cup stadium?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Just tell me. Come on.
It's not something that you can put into words.
Such a tease.
You can't rush it. You will find out when it's your time.
Thanks for the wisdom, coach. So, how much longer?
Now go and make history, my man. Here's the World Cup you've been waiting for.
Actually, the World Cup's been waiting for me.
That's the spirit. Just remember who drove you here.
Inspiring every step of the next legend. The official matchball carrier, proudly sponsored by Kia. Inspiration connects us all.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things, great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
Get our Best Wings USA signature sauces, mouth-watering appetizers, or any of our delicious award-winning lube favorites.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. I'm always watching, always looking to reward more full-time fans. Because football isn't really football without you.
Lusk & Associates Sotheby's International Realty proudly presents the introduction of our new State College office at 314 South Borough Street in State College. At Sotheby's International Realty, we advertise locally, nationally, and internationally, bringing the best of advertising and promotion to each and every one of our properties, big or small. Call now.
A lot has changed about State College. One thing that hasn't is W.C. Clark's Coffee Roasters on 234 East Calder Way. 30 different varieties of specialty coffee beans sourced from over 25 countries and roasted with love each morning in Happy Valley for over 45 years. They'll ship their fresh roasted coffee from their doorstep to yours. Order online at statecollegecoffee.com. That's statecollegecoffee.com.
Hi, welcome to Timberland Federal Credit Union, a financial cooperative for its members, tracing all the way back to 1973.
Experience Timberland Federal Credit Union, where you're greeted with a smile and financial solutions are tailored to your unique life journey. Here, we're not just financial professionals, we're your neighbors. People invested in your financial needs, literacy, and empowerment. Your dreams matter to us, whether they're about buying a home, growing a nest egg, or embarking on new adventures. TFCU draws from the past and invests in the future, offering modern tools like online banking to give you the freedom to manage your money practically anytime. Additionally, we're passionate about giving back both time and resources because enhancing our community is at the core of why we're here. Visit TFCU in person or online to learn more about our services and apply for a membership today.
WFXX, once again, the Fox, your sports radio.
Broadcasting live, loud and proud from Central PA Sports Authority, WFXS America.
98.7, the Fox State College.